Start going live.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of LKM Coast to Coast. You are watching the Fishing Family Network. My name is Lizard King. I'm normally on the West Coast, but today I'm coming to you live from my sister's cottage, the Erlauer Cottage in Neshkoro, Wisconsin at Silver Springs Lake. That's my view, folks. That's not green screen. I'm live. I got the whole family quarantined in the garage on a couch. And we're trying to get Aldo Rosato's feed up, but we had to go live. We didn't want people waiting. So I'm going to kick it over to the East Coast, and we can talk to my other host.
And here I am, folks. We are on the East Coast. This is LKM Coast to Coast. We have Aldo Rosato here. We're just trying to get him online so that we can have a little bit of video and we can do a little bit of interviewing. We're just having some technical difficulties. So bear with us for a couple minutes. I'm trying to do it right now, and I think we have a whole bunch of people in the wrong feed because we had to do several different feeds. We weren't getting the live broadcast button to go live and all of that good stuff. So just bear with us for a couple minutes. I don't know where Lizard King went. I'm sure he's around somewhere, but I'm going to go ahead.
There's my family in the garage is saying the feed isn't on.
The feed's not on.
I'm looking right here, and this feed isn't on this one either. Is it on the original?
We are on LKM Coast to Coast.
Oh, there's three of them, dude.
There's three of them. Awesome. Yep. So we got 8 people in this chat room. Now let me go to this chat room and figure it out. Hold on one second.
They all say live, too.
They all say live. Awesome. So here we are. We have to figure out.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it.
You got that one? Give us 2 seconds, folks. We're gonna cut all this out later. As soon as we get Aldo on the video, we'll cut it all. I am going to send a new link now. Let's do this. Won't let him join. We gotta figure this out. If not, we're going to have to do it in person when we're in Georgia, but hopefully that's not the case.
Okay. So it's on. It's that one all the way to the left. We got 9 people.
Yeah, we got people in all the different chat rooms right now. This is awesome. This is TV at its finest.
This is standard classic LKM Coast to Coast, folks. Yep. I can't wait till I start handling this show so we can get a little professionalism back in the situation.
God, you know, I was on for an hour before you even woke up.
Look at this. I woke up. I was fishing all day. America.
Hold on. I'm going into, I don't even know which one we're on anymore.
We're on the one that's all the way to the left.
Yeah, that's on the screen, but I am in a different screen. So now we don't want that one. We got to
We don't want that one.
So we want this one right here. Going to him, and that's the link. All right, sent. And now let's see if we can get him back.
Well, here's the thing. And so I'm trying to get everybody from the other chat rooms to come on over.
Yes, and then we'll have to erase all of the old ones.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So why don't here's what I think we should do.
Talk to me.
If you've got the technical stuff going on with Aldo to try and get him on.
Yes.
Let's tell people who don't know Aldo's story a little bit of a backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you start that? I'm gonna work on the.
Want me to start that?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the technical aspect of it right now.
Getting him on. Okay.
All right.
So for people who don't know or understand who Aldo Rosato is, when did Aldo pop on?
He jumped on. He's been around. Actually, the first time he was on social media that we came across him was back in October of last year. Mm-hmm. And then he actually got run off of social media. you know, the stories, and I'll tell you, the stories that he tells, they're 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 big stories. They're very big stories.
They're big stories. And I
Absolutely.
think some people chose to not listen, chose not to believe them, and thought somebody was, you know, playing a game.
Right.
But Aldo is real, and those stories are real. And we were taken aback when we discovered that Aldo was a real guy. We thought he was fake too. And we wanted to research that a little bit. And darn it, Aldo is real, and he is emphatic. He's tearful. He's how would you say it? When he embodies the information that made those stories, and he is interested in passing that information along to people. And that's how it started.
Absolutely.
He really is genuinely interested in passing that
And
on.
we got Aldo. We got Aldo.
Thank God.
Yes.
There he is.
Folks,
hard.
ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time, but we got him. We got Aldo. Aldo.
All the links were not working. I had to restart the phone and do it all over again.
No problem. No problem. It's just fantastic to have you here tonight, sir. We've been talking a little bit about your backstory, how you were on social media before, and you left for a little while. You know, there were a lot of people out there that you know, some of the stories that you've told over the years are big stories. But we're just saying that, you know, once you get to talk to you, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. So we can't thank you enough tonight for coming and being on our show here. People are excited to finally get to know Aldo Rosato.
Yes, sir. And thank you for inviting me. You and Linda King, both of you guys are great.
It truly is our pleasure, Aldo. And you know, you've been the buzz at our camp for darn near close to a year now. And I really can't thank you enough, because for many reasons. One, I want to talk about those stories. Two, I'm really interested in your idea that you know, you want to impart some of this glory and some of this information on people, you know, while you have the chance. That when you said that to us, when we talked and you said that to us, that is what really sunk it for me. And so I really can't appreciate you enough, because I know you have information that does not even exist in the stratosphere right now, and you're going to impart some gold onto people.
Yes,
and there's
sir.
a lot of anglers out there tonight watching that are interested in that gold nugget, interested in a piece of the puzzle that a lot of people don't have. And I know you have it, because we have seen the stories.
Right.
Absolutely. So I guess where
do you want to get started, Monster?
You know, I want to start from the beginning. I want to go to the end.
Let's start from the beginning.
I want to get it all. So let's do this. Aldo.
So you were born where?
I was actually born in Toul, France.
Oh, no kidding.
Nice.
And my father was stationed over there.
Oh, very good.
And then we moved to Hawaii.
Yes, sir.
And that's when, at about 4 years of age, when he started me on catfishing.
Oh, wow.
And I would just play around with his tackle box, and I kept saying, you know, what's this? And he would say, oh, put that back. You know, that's for bass. And I'm like, what's a bass? And my curiosity, he saw that I was very curious. So when I actually got my first pole that he bought me, and I got a lure and caught my first fish, I didn't know it was a bass till I took it to my father. And he said, that's a bass. And I fell in love with that fish. I just said, wow, that's a pretty fish, you know. And my father said that I would never stop. I kept asking him, I want to go fishing. I want to go fishing.
Yeah.
And that's actually where it started, in Hawaii.
Wow.
But then, you know, there was a dormant period there for a while, because he had to go to Vietnam. So while he was at Vietnam, I said, well, he's not here, and he can't stop me from going in that tackle box. So I get on my bike and I put that pole and I'm headed down there to the lake, and I've got some lures out of his box, because he's not here. He's in Vietnam, And so I started fishing and catching some bass. And then but they were small, But to me, it was a great thing. And then I bring them home to my mother, and then she would fry them up. So I felt like a good man at that time, feeding the family while Dad's at war.
Absolutely.
And so that's where my independence for bass fishing began. It's very interesting. Feeding the family while Dad's
Rookie, I just did a rookie mistake. I almost had my volume on.
Is my volume okay, or do I need to hold mine?
No, your volume's perfect.
You're doing great.
Yep,
You're doing
absolutely.
great.
So you started bass fishing at a very young age.
Yes, sir.
Now, I guess you got interested right away, and you just haven't stopped ever since.
There was a dormant period when we left Hawaii and got to California. Immediately it turned into salt fishing. So we started saltwater fishing for lingcods and blues, yellowtails, rock cods, and so flounders. And so I wasn't into the bass fishing at that time because Dad was into this going to Big Sur. He did enter me into a trout fishing contest, and I won with a 3-pound rainbow trout, which was really nice. And look, this is what they gave me. I thought I was going to get a trophy. They gave me this, and I'm like, I said, "This is a Boy Scout knife," I told my dad, I said, "This is not a trophy." I thought I was going to get a trophy, I get a Boy Scout knife, but I still got it.
Hey, absolutely, nice. I love it.
Yeah, and so. In California, there was really not a lot of bass fishing going on. It was more saltwater fishing. And then we got orders to go to Germany, and then it completely cut off. And so when I get into the Air Force, I start saltwater fishing. And a photographer takes my picture with a big old jack, And one of the airmen come in and says, "Hey, I saw you on the front cover of the Air Force magazine." I said, "Really? I want to get that magazine," but I never got a copy of that. But that photographer was from the Air Force, and he took that shot, and they put it on the magazine all over. I never got a copy of that.
No kidding. Now,
that's kind of sad.
So what was the age frame around that time?
And I was 21. 21 years old. Wow. And being in the Air Force, that's when I went to college. And here again, I'm in school all the time, so there's no bass fishing going on at all.
Right.
It was not till 1983 when I got out of the Air Force and I got to Columbus, Georgia, when I met my wife at that time. The choices I had was go air traffic control for $100,000 a year, which I didn't want to do because I have to go overseas again. I said, no, I want to stay in Georgia and bass fish. I haven't been able to bass fish. Yeah. So I turned that job down and I started fishing for bass. And as an amateur, that's where it all began, catching little bass like this. And I began intensively studying these fish, and complaining to my father all the time. Like, I'm not getting any big bass. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And he keeps sending me all these lures in the mail because, he was a pro bass angler in the Redman Tour, and, it's kind of hard to have a mentor like that when he's got a 10-pound on the wall and all he's catching is
sure. And this, I tell you, Aldo, this is something that I tell everybody. I tell you, you gotta think like the fish. You can't think like a fisherman trying to think like a fish. You have to think like a fish. And if you go onto the internet, there are wonderful documentaries done by biologists that show underwater cameras of 365 days of the year of what these fish are doing. And that's, if you want to catch more bass, that's what you need to go watch.
Right.
I'm not saying don't watch LKM Coast to Coast because we're a wealth of knowledge here at LKM Coast to Coast.
I didn't even.
But go watch those biological documentaries, and you'll see how fish really think.
Right.
You'll see how they actually react to things that come into their environment, whether it's food or a threat or whatever. And that's what you key off of first.
Well, that's very, very interesting that you bring that up. Had I had that, I might have quadrupled what I did, but I did it the hard way. I did it the hard way. I said, no, I didn't have no videos. I just spent hours and hours and hours with the bass, and that's how I learned them. In fact, they actually taught me.
Well, let's talk about that a little. I want to talk about those hours and hours, and I want to know how those, and not just myself, but a lot of people out there have been bugging us for months and months and months. Go a little bit further into depth on how those bass taught you.
Okay, well.
Hey, we got 2 hours, bro.
We got plenty of time.
I got so much in here. I'm trying to, what I'm actually doing is going back and say, well, let's start at Punk Park.
Sounds good.
In Fitzgerald. My father gives me the poles. And he says, don't worry about anything. I'm going to back you up financially. You want to be a pro bass angler? Prove it to me. Bring me some fish. Well, I get out there and I start fishing. I'm catching them like this. And I'm telling my father, man, there ain't no bass in there. And my dad keeps telling me, no, you just haven't learned them yet. You've got to learn them. So I go back in there and I'm trying to learn these bass, and it's getting frustrated. And every now and then I get one about 4 pounds, 5 pounds. But nothing bigger. But I'm catching a lot of 3 and 4 pound bass, and I'm bringing them to him in a bucket. And I'm like, look at this. I said, I'm ready for the pro tour. And my dad looks at me and says, you ain't ready for the pro tour.
let me tell you, Aldo, I know that feeling.
It's sad. And when you got a father like I had, he's like, no, they got to get bigger. These pros out there, they catch big bass, and I'm frustrated, and I'm trying to figure out what do these bass want, So I get me a journal and I start writing down. I'm looking at the barometric pressure. I'm getting into it deep now, the weather, the time of the month, and study it. When they're pre-spawning, post-spawn, get into it and study these bass, and still I'm coming up short on these lunkers. I want to catch this lunker. So when I'm at the house one night, I'm not at the end of my wits. And my wife is sitting on the couch painting her toes with pink nail polish. And she says,
really?
She's painting her toes. And she's like, well, why don't you use my pink nail polish and try it? I said, Brenda, them bass ain't going to hit no pink nail polish. I wasn't agreeing with her.
Yeah.
But a couple of hours later, I go out and I grab a Bill Lewis rattle trap, and I said, give me some of that pink nail polish. And I painted it. And I went out to Punk Park, and bam, I caught me one a good 6.5, 7 pound. I said, this is looking pretty good. The fish got bigger. And I said, okay, we're on to something here. They like pink. And so I stayed strong with that until I got my first 10 pound. Then I was just screaming like Tarzan. And my friend Eric shows up with the boat, ready to invite me to go with him on the boat. And I'm like, look what I got here. And I pulled this 10 pound bass out of the bucket, and he says, wow. He said, look, man, are you sure it's 10 pounds? I said, look at it. So he gets a scale. We weigh it. It's 10 pounds. I said, I told you. He says, what are you going to do with it? It's going on my wall. What do you think? And he said, oh, man, you got to let it go. Say what? I've been waiting 20 years to get me a 10 pound bass. You want me to turn it loose? And he says, yeah, you'll get more of them. I'm like, nah. It's hard to tell an angler to let go of his first 10 pound bass.
Right.
But what I did, I said, you know what? You're right. So I went in the water and I let her go. And then I looked at Eric. I said, I hate you. I'm going to hate you, because that was the first big 10 pound that I ever caught. Eric looked at me. He said, you're going to catch lots of them. And I said, how do you know that? He said, I just know. He said, because I see you out here every day fishing hours after hours all day, putting 12 hours in, you got to be doing something. People looking at me saying, he's got to know something. He's doing something. But I'm in training. I'm actually learning. So after that, I caught a 12-pound bass. And that's where it began. I said, okay, well, now we're on to something. You know what lunkers like, but you can't stay on the pink. The pink is good, but I wanted to take it another step further. So I got purple, and I tried the purple. Pulled out a 13-pound bass. I'm back in the paper again. And so people are like, man, he's in the paper. You got a 13-pound now, That's how it started. And so then I intensely began to study the bass more and more. I said, well, we need to go deeper here, because there's a lot of hours out there casting, 1,500 casts a day will wear you out. And the smaller bass, which I call them the dummy bass, everybody can catch them. Pro anglers go out there today, they'll catch 5, 6, 7-pound bass, no problem at all. Yeah, amateurs can do it. Little children can do it. But I said, what about
who are you calling an amateur?
Amateurs?
Hey, let's throw that pink crankbait up there.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Aldo? Ladies and gentlemen, this is why.
Oh,
come on, monster.
Well, we have some new pink crankbaits, and actually, once we get to that story, we got a couple different giveaways that we're going to be doing tonight in honor of Aldo being our guest. Yep. Yes. So what we have, folks, is a Marty's Lures custom pink crankbait right there. You can see it. It's got the rattle trap, sir.
Yeah.
And it's the lipless pink crankbait. That was custom painted by Marty's Lures. Unbelievable job. It doesn't.
You did a very good job.
Yeah, we can't even do it justice on the camera, but we're going to give a whole bunch.
That's an honor. That's an honor of your pink crankbait there, Aldo.
Yes, sir.
I'm tickled pink looking at that. Besides, bass like pink.
I love it.
Tickled pink.
I have. Let's see the original pinks. We're actually out of those stuff. That's why I ordered more. But
all right. So you went to pink. You went to purple. You get your 13-pounder, and you're thinking you're tired of the 1,500 casts. You want to go deep. Oh, there it is. There's that girl.
There's the one that we've been giving away right there.
And when it is, these lunkers, when they're ready and they come off their dens, they will hit it. You got to be patient. You can't look, I got a pinky. I'm going in there. It doesn't happen that way. When that lunker comes off the bed, I guarantee you she's going to smack it. I caught a lot of them. That come off their dens. They like to sleep during the day. They're big. By the time the sun comes up, she's done went home. And so everybody says, well, what's a den? I said, well, what the bass does is she fans out this big old deep hole. It looks like a volcano. You know how beds are, bass beds. Just picture that, but picture it deeper. And she's down there with all the moss covered up, and she goes down in that darn little hole, and she'll sleep all day. The sun doesn't beat through the moss, bother her eyes because they don't have eyelids. And that's what she does, is sleep. So you're out there wearing yourself out, and you want to get this big bass. It ain't going to happen because she's at home sleeping. So I got to thinking, well, how do we get them off the beds on the dens,
Mm-hmm.
So, I got to thinking, well, you get yourself like get you a little lizard like this, and put you a heavy weight, and then start dropping down where these dens are, and try to drop it right through to wake her up. Yeah. And that works. Once you hit the den and you find her, that baby will just jerk, and then you got it. You just pull right on up. And she comes up with a bunch of moss all on the line, which makes it harder because you're penetrating through that soft moss. Mm-hmm. And it's really amazing that a lot of people didn't know about that. Bass do have dens, and
my biggest one today. And this, if you watch guys down in Okeechobee, they really get in on it. Even over in Arizona, they'll get in deep on some of that cover. especially in Okeechobee, though.
Right.
Today, you know, I mean, sometimes as fishermen, we're in boats and, you know, you're worried about getting hung up and this, that, the other thing. Sometimes that psychologically will keep people shying away from the spot where they are. And I threw one in onto the back. I was trying to throw in onto the back side of some cover, because usually where I find the biggest ones is in the, if you look for the best spot, but the toughest spot is where I've always caught my biggest fish. And it's the back side of cover.
Right.
Instead of fishing the front side of that cover, you know, who the hell's going to throw to the back side of cover when you're going to have to dig them out through all that stuff? Or the toughest angle in the dock. Now, I'm going to tell you, I haven't done it often, but when I get that inkling and I do it, I've caught my biggest always in the toughest spots. And I caught my biggest today on the back side of a big piece of cover, and I had to horse that fish out through all that cover, and it came out with, you know, a ton of weeds and stuff on it, but it was a female who had just finished spawning.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
How big? How many pounds? You remember?
Oh, we didn't weigh it. It was 18 inches. It was a fat female. It was 18 inches. But
nice little mama. All fat.
Yeah.
Little baby biggie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She had just, you could tell she had just finished spawning, was feeding up, because her belly was still there. But,
right.
you know, it looked like a spawn belly, but if you could feel it was hollow.
Wow. You know, do you know where they go after they lay their eggs? We're going to talk about this, because I'm not that. Just waiting for this.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
You know, you go down to a lake, and I look and I can see 20, 30 anglers, and they're all out there fishing the darn beds. And I'm like, Jesus, you guys just don't learn nothing. You know, you don't want to mess with the males on the beds, even though sometimes there's a couple of nice big size males. But the females, those piggies, they like to come in at night and lay the eggs mostly at night. When they're done, they get out and they go to the deep. Now, here's the thing. In these lakes where there's a lot of shallow, because mama don't want you to see her, she's going back to the deep. If the deep is 40 feet away, that's where she's going to be, because it's just too shallow in here where the bed's at. But if you go to those lakes like I did at Paradise, where you got about 4 foot and then it just drops and goes right down to 15 foot, that's where mama's at. So all I did is fish down there for mama, but mama don't want to hit it because she sees me. She's looking at that water. She sees me on the bank. So what you got to do, you know, throw pinky out there or the purple and throw it in the deep, not on the bed. The bed's right here. Forget the bed. Go out here in the deep and then let some line out and put some distance between you and the edge of that lake. Get about 20, 25 feet away. Get back. This is what I call fishing in the blind. Now, when the game warden was told that, you know, this guy's catching a lot of 10-pound bass, and I think he's doing something illegal, the game warden actually came out and wanted to talk to me and wanted to see what I'm using. I had to pull it out, show him. And so I said, he said, "You're the one catching all these 10, 12-pound bass?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, well, how do you do it? I said, "Would you like me to demonstrate?" And he said, "I would love it." And I said, "Well, come on back here, because she can see us where we're standing right now. Come on, let's go back here over the hill." So we go over the hill, and I light up a cigarette, and I'm talking to the game warden, and he's going, how can you fish like this if you can't see her? I said, "It's called fishing in the blind. She's going to come up, because when she sees the bank, she don't see us standing there. She's going to come up a little closer. And our lure is right here. Okay, it's actually behind her. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop it. And when we pop it right past her, she's going to hit that baby and jerk and go." And he said, "And that's how you're doing it?" I said, "That's exactly how I'm doing it. And I can go to every lake you have here and yank out 10 or 12-pound bass like no tomorrow." And he said, "My God."
I love it. I love it.
He was like, "Geez, yeah." That's a secret. That's a secret I just let out. So
I'm taking notes.
I got people in the other room taking notes right now. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Now that's the gold.
That's a secret.
Gold.
That's a secret right there.
But here,
I've never tried that.
no, we want the anglers to be conservative. It's nice to know something like that, but we don't want you going out there and ripping them all out of the lakes. Take a picture and let her go. Take a picture and let her go, so you can continue enjoying that, and you can come back next year when they're spawning, and you can continuously pull out these big bass. Because it's a lot of fun. But when I did it in front of the game warden, the investigation was over. And he told me you should fish pro, and I said, well, I'm working on it. But it was up to the old man. Because he's the one that was sponsoring me. And so when he said, I'm ready, and I thought I was ready. But not Paul. No, my dad would look at that, and he'd say, nah, that's not good enough. And then I says, well, look, I've been doing this every day. He says, yeah, but that's not the same as the river. He said, the river is harder. I said, well, let's go to the river. I said, let's get a boat. Let's go to the river. All I got is this John boat, And he said, well, you're not ready yet. I said, I think I'm ready. So he buys a nitro boat. And we go out there in the river, and I start doing the same thing. It's a magic with me. I can do it in the river. I can do it in a public fishing area. It doesn't matter. What I discovered about bass is a very nice technique, especially the way I work my rattle trap. Don't just throw it out there and reel it in. Work it. Pop it. It's so natural for me. I'm just reeling, and I'm popping natural. It's just a natural thing for me. But it works. It works.
You got to work it, baby. You got to work it.
No,
right. Present it to the fish and entice her. And at the same time, you got to have that right color. Because if you got the standard lures like these, this is standard. These are standard. You can go out there and you can buy these. KVD likes these. He uses them. He uses the chartreuse. They work. You can catch bass that will win a tournament with these things here, but they're not in size. And I'm like, I've seen enough pro anglers holding up 7-8 pound bass. I wasn't satisfied with that. I said, no, I want to go out and get those 10-11s.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh yeah, that'll win you a tournament.
Let's make it work. Let's target those and let's learn that. Now that was the hardest thing about it, But my mouth is getting dry talking so much. Y'all better talk.
Let's do this. I'll tell you what. We got plenty of show left.
We should give some away. Get some away.
We're giving a lot of stuff away tonight. Let's do 3 numbers. All right. I have 3 numbers written down. I'm going to give a blast, and we're going to give 3 pink crankbaits away to our guests right now. All right. So let's do it. The blast is going up. I already put 3 numbers on a piece of paper. So I'm just going to look for the 3 numbers. They are.
Where are they?
They're right here. All right. They're on this sheet on this side.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do the blast. 3 numbers. We got 1 winner already.
All right. I've got 6, 9, 1, 13, 22. Oh, sorry. Take that back. The blast went up, and I have 9, 12, 14, 21, 17, 14, 12. Aldo getting tired of talking 2, 13, 7, 22, 6, 17. Oh, that's my family. You want to say out of my family after this? 22, 6, 7, 4, 4, 8, 22, 10, 18. Okay, what do you want?
All right, we got 3 of them. All right, I got.
What do you want? What numbers you got? Confirmation.
13.
13 is James Erlauer.
No, after the blast.
Ah, it was James Erlauer.
I got Bassingal.
No. Look, right after Mitch Oliver, Aldo getting tired of talking to James Erlauer, 13.
Where's the blast? Hold on a second.
Right here.
I got something different. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. After the Fishing Family blast, let's see. I have Bassingal.
Steve Gammon.
Number 13, Bassingal.
I've got Steve Gammon is immediately after the blast.
Immediately after the blast was Steve Gammon? Let me check this one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's the blast. Oh, yeah.
I don't even have a Bassingal.
Wow.
Bassingal was 3 before the blast for me. See?
3 before the blast, huh? So it's actually a lag in the chat room as well.
Look.
All right, actually, that's confirmed on my iPad. I guess my blast is lagging on my phone. But you know what? I'm going to give away 4 because Bassingal's on mine, and then Steve Gammon's next. So I got 13, and 23.
Hey, what? You got 13 what?
13, 3, and 23.
Okay, so Bassingal, you're going to give 1 to.
Yep.
James Erlauer, my brother-in-law, is the first one. And you said 23 and 3.
Yep.
So 3 was Ed Seiler.
Ed. All right.
And 23.
I got
Steve Gammon.
Steve Gammon. Yep. Steve Gammon. He's actually got quite the package going out this week, Steve Gammon. All right. So
I know. And hey, if you have stuff coming for me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on vacation. So it's probably going to be another week and a half before you get anything from me. And no worries. We have to thank Fishing Stripes. She has been helping us make sure that we're getting all the right things out to all the right people. We got to do a shout out to Fishing Stripes.
Without a doubt. She's been
if you haven't gone, checked out Fishing Stripes YouTube. She is on YouTube, and of course she's on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. But thank you, Fishing Stripes, for keeping track of everything for us, especially with our busy schedule this summer. And wow. Congratulations, everybody. You got yourself a custom Aldo pink crankbait. Legendary.
Legendary Aldo pink crankbait made by
Legendary paint.
RT's Lures pink crankbait. And that is going to be signed by Aldo Rosado himself.
Yes, we are sending them to Aldo, and we're going to have him sign them.
I'll do it.
All right. Excellent. Can't thank you enough. All right. You want to get back to it, Frank? Let's do this.
Yeah. Where were we? Where were we? Because I'm riveted. I'm sitting on the edge of my bar stool.
Well, I did tell everybody on Twitter there was a lot that I was going to say. I just got to remember all of it.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to give it all away today because we have talked and we can't thank you enough for a while there on the internet, and it gets a little colluded, and then some people are thinking you're just full of shit. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Some people think you're full of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Am I right? And so you don't have to blow it all in one time because we already talked, and we're gonna have more chats. We're gonna have more and different types of things coming out with Aldo Rosado that you can see to get more of the gold, to get more of Aldo's kinesis, because it's you have developed a kinesis with the water and these fish.
That was a very smart thing you just said, because it's true. It's true. I got a connection. It's like my second family. Without, I haven't, we're talking about a lot of things right now, but there's a lot of stuff I haven't said. It goes deep. It goes.
Right. Well, you can save some of it, but just continue with the story. Yeah. You can save all you want, but continue with a good story, and we'll get some more out to people. This is, we don't want to give it all at once.
That's right.
It's too much for people. There might people at home where you ever seen that scene in Scanners?
Yeah.
You don't want people's head to blow up, But I want to let's get the timeline of this story out there. Where were we? You went to the river. Went to the river.
Yeah, I started fishing the river, catching bass out there, and my father says, "Okay, well, this is later on, back in 2003. I'm going for my first major tournament now. Okay, because I've been winning local tournaments. This is the tournament at Lake Blackshear, the Feed the Hungry tournament, and so it's a nice purse there. I think it was $150, 175 something. He paid for it anyway for the entry fee. Well, we get out there in that nitro, and I'm ready to go to town. And my father pulls over to the right, turns the motor off, and I said, "What are you doing, Dad?" He says, "Let's eat breakfast." I said, "Breakfast? We're in a tournament." I'm not ready to eat breakfast. He says, "Well, your mother made some sandwiches." And, and I'm looking at my old man. I'm like, "I love you, Dad, but yeah, man. So okay, let's eat the sandwiches." And he says, "Don't worry, you're going to catch bass anyway, And so I said, "Let me take over the boat." I said, "Let me take over the boat so I can show you where these bass are at." And so as soon as I get in there to crank up the boat, it doesn't want to start. So we got a problem. So I go in the back, take the cover off, and it's the solenoid. So I take a pair of needle nose to jump it off. And I said, "Look, we're still in the tournament. It's not over." He doesn't want to do it. He wants to take the boat to Tifton. He wants to get a new solenoid put on. So we had to leave the tournament and we had to forfeit because they didn't have a solenoid for that engine. And I was so upset. I didn't have that chance to win that tournament because it was like the elements were against me. It's really sad. And I didn't say nothing to him for the whole hour driving home. He knew I was upset. I'm like, this can't be happening, not to me. But all those years that I spent, every day in the cold and the heat, studying bass, because every time I brought big bass home, my old man said that, "No, that's not good enough," But when I caught my first 14-pound bass, and he said that was luck, do it again. I'm like, okay. Well, I go out, I catch another 14-pound bass. My dad looks at it, and he's like, that's luck. I said, "Dad, I got two. How do you figure that's luck? I mean, ain't nobody catches a 14-pound bass like that." It wasn't until I got the third one that he finally realized. He's like, "Well, I'll be darned." He said, "You done discovered something." And I said, "I done figured it out. I done figured these bass out really good." And anybody who wants to, if you want to get you a 10-pound bass, the easiest way to do it, get you a little Rapala. You don't have to have Pinky. A Pinky's great, and purple is too. But you can get a Rapala and get out there early in the morning before that sun comes up, because that's when they're lurking. And just go out there and be very quiet, because if you spook her, she's gone. If you cast on top of her, she's gone. And you lose that chance. And you know in your mind, like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow morning to get another shot at her because she's gone." So these are things that all anglers need to learn to have patience. Have patience and creep up in there. And a lot of people like to move around in the boat a lot. If you're going for a lunker, you can't have ants in your pants.
Can you give advice to people who are willing to get up early enough to get a chance to get one of these lunkers and also be in a boat? You've talked about being on shore.
Sure. Yeah,
What's the technique for being in a boat to being far enough out? I mean, I understand quiet because I'm at the lake right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And I can walk down there, right? And I kid you not, these fish will. Oh, that's my Aunt Susie. That's Uncle Bubba's wife. or that's my aunt. It's my Aunt Susan. Walk down there and they'll hear the rumbling of my feet on the grass, and they will swim up because the little fish, they want some oatmeal or something, but they know I'm coming like 50 feet, 100 feet before I get there, and they'll start swimming towards the shore. And that kind of clued me in. I was like, holy cow, these fish know a long time before I get there that I'm coming. They can hear the pounding of my feet. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. So what do you have people who are boat fishermen that are willing to get up early enough and be quiet? Should they be 50 feet away? Should they be trying to cast as far as they can? Should they cast, let it alone, drive away? What should they do?
Okay, you want to make sure that you've got the maximum cast. I use a 1/2 ounce rattle trap. I shoot about 30 yards. If it's windy, you might even be able to get a little bit more than that. But the maximum cast you definitely want, because you don't want to spook the strike zone. And then the thing about it in the early mornings, when the water's like glass and she's right there waiting to feed, and that rattle trap drops right there, she's gone. And I said to myself, this is going to be a problem. I said, the trap's making too much noise on the water. If it's windy early in the morning like that, great, because you're not going to spook her. But when it's calm like that, I said, well, just switch up to this little baby right here.
I love it.
Bury the lizard.
Little plastic worm, and the thing about this, you don't want to put a heavy weight on it. A lot of anglers like to put the bullet leads on. I use the 1/4 inch, the little small one. I don't want to make a big splash when this thing hits, because I know she's going to be there, and I'll just bring it right on top of the surface of the water. It should just come up, explode on it. Now, if you're a little bit more deeper in the morning, you can use the crankbait, but you don't want to crank that trolling motor. Every time you hit that trolling motor, you're making noise. Let the rattle trap, or for example, this little shallow runner here, there's some resistance here. So when you cast this out and you start reeling it in, your boat's going to start going in the direction that you're reeling this lure in. So you don't have to hit the trolling motor. You're going to creep right in there like a mouse. She ain't even going to know you're coming in. Boom. And you cast right on top of her. And that's how you get those big 12-pound bass early in the morning, because they're smart. That if you hit them from the bank, then you got to, here again, you can use a plastic worm. And if it's a clear sky and you got the moon above you, watch your shadow. She will see your shadow. If your shadow gets in the way, you blew it. So you cast out in the front of these little potholes by the lily pads, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's dark. When you use this, don't use the lead at all. Take the lead off. Now with 17-pound test line, you're not going to be able to cast this very far, but we don't want to go far. We're fishing right here by the bank, because that's where that 16, 17-pound bass is coming into. I have had so many mornings that I threw that worm and brought it in, and kaboom, and she just stripped me. And you know what they do? They go right through the lily pads. She don't turn around and go out to the deep. No, she goes right through the lily pads and snap the line. They're smart. They know that they just goofed. It's amazing. And those big ones, I'm talking 17, 18 pounds, they get me every time. I hook them, but if you hook one in those lily pads, good luck.
Right.
Because you've had it. They're smart.
Yeah.
A bass knows the lake better than you do. You can look at your fish finder and you can see the structures underneath, and the bass already knows that. She knows that lake by the back of her hand because she swims it every day. She's got
the back of her fin.
Back of her fin.
she's got trails in there.
Back of her fin.
And she's got feeding spots. And so if you lose, for example, and then I'll let you talk. If you lose let's just say a 17-pound bass, in this spot right here, come back tomorrow, same time. Look at your watch, same time, same place. She's going to be there, and cast right back out there. She'll be waiting on you, and then you get another crack at her, and then she spits it out again until she drives you nuts. And that's what happened to me. And I couldn't pull them out because they spit that 1/2 ounce rattle trap every time. But I got the 12s and I got the 11s and 10s. I mean, that's how I did it, because they're like deer. If you lose one, remember that spot. Tomorrow she'll be right back. And the thing is, they have a biological clock. I don't know how they do it, but the bass is right there again, same time. Isn't that amazing?
It really is.
And so with that in mind, you can get all the bass you want.
First of all, I've always believed that we've lost our animal instincts, because when you look at all the other animals on the planet, they'll tell you when a storm is coming, and et cetera, et cetera. I want to talk a little bit about these rattle traps. Now, the industry, first of all, most people, not everybody, but most people know about the trick about trying to reduce the clank, trying to change the tone of the clank inside of their baits by boring a little hole and adding a little bit of olive oil is my preference. I like extra virgin olive oil too, just because of the certain type of viscosity. I plug that hole back up with a little bit of epoxy, and I get a very special tone out of my rattle traps, and it seems to work a little bit better. Two, the industry has come out with rattle traps that are rattleless.
Right.
They're silent rattle traps. What are your thoughts about changing the tone of your rattles, and also the quiet rattle traps that the industry has chosen?
If the trap is quiet, the bass is going to strike it on sight, because there's not a whole lot of sound there. But if you've got the rattlers in there and you reduce that down, which I've done to 250 hertz, because the lower the sound, the bass hears that a lot stronger. And how I discovered this was that when a bass bites a brim, when a brim is moving, or a shell cracker, the bass comes up from behind and bites her and breaks her back. Bass have a very strong jaw, and when she bites her, she's going to turn it loose, and it's going to do this. The shell crackers comes right up to the surface, and once it gets to the surface, it starts floating, and she's right there following her. See, but now if the water is stained, well, she can't see it. So how does she know where it's at now? I said, that's where I learned the 250 hertz. The shell cracker starts slapping her gills shut. It's like it's a croaking sound. And that croaking sound is a low signal. The bass homes in on that signal and then take her from head first and swallow her down like a snake. And that's how she finds her prey that way. So I said, okay, so we need to lower the sound on the trap. And if you can get it close to that croaking that shell cracker was making, then you can call all bass, because all bass know that sound. All shell crackers, brims, they all do it. And so you got the sound, you got the bass. When that bass hears the croak, automatically, oh, there's a wounded fish, and she's going to hit it. Another bass will hit another bass's prey that she done hit, and it's up there floating, broken. Another bass will come and take it.
Just instinctual.
Wow,
that's amazing, isn't it?
Now, Aldo, over a lifetime of fishing, everybody's got that one fish that they just can't catch. Do you have a nemesis? Do you have one of those fish that you're like, oh, I just want to catch it?
The biggest bass in Park Park and at Fuller's Lake, I did not want to target them. I could have went ahead and got the cast 8, the 9-inch cast 8 lure, but it's heavier. And I said, no, we don't want to do that. I said, because if you target them, that's not going to teach me a whole lot. I said, you're going to get her out, but it's not going to help you in tournaments. We're not targeting 18-pound bass in a tournament. All we want to do is get bass to win. And there's a big difference there. But if I wanted them, yes, I can target them that way, or I can use live chubs, the golden chub. And here again, if you're trolling, I'll use this as an example. If you're trolling with a chub, you take your hook and you go through the mouth and come out the nose. And you put a little bobber, if you want to, you don't need a bobber, and troll in first gear and just troll. The bass comes up, it's going to grab it. And when you see that pole bend, what you do is you pop your the bell housing loose, let her run with it. Stop the trolling motor, be calm, just wait. She's going to go for a little bit. She's going to stop because she already broke the back on it. It's wounded. She's going to spit it out. And then while it's sitting there hurting, you know, it's dying because she done broke the back. The bass comes around and it's going to swallow it head first. And then you're going to see your line start moving again. Set the hook. That's it. It's in the throat. If you set it too early, then you don't get the big one.
All right.
Give her time to swallow it because she's going to spit it out because you were trolling. She hit it from the tail. Yeah. So let her have it. She's going to spit it out. She's going to turn around and swallow it head first. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I like it.
Everybody that doesn't know that, you know, the bobber goes out, oh, I got one. Oh, I want to reel it in. You know, I said, you done messed up. You done stripped it out of her mouth.
So now, what are you using for gear? Like, are you a spinner reel? Are you bait casting? Are you
using a spinning reel?
You're using a spinning reel?
I've been using spinning reels all my life. My father had hundreds of bait casters. I don't like them. I never did like a bait caster. I don't like that little cranking. Mm-hmm. A lot of pros, you know, they got this. I'm just stuck with the spinning reel, and I love it. I've learned how to flip with it, and I can make my lures dance, pop. I can take a rattle trap. There's 3 ways to fish a rattle trap. Yeah,
what are
talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, talk to me.
Let it out.
Everybody takes a rattle trap. You know, they hook it up to the front, bring it this way. Take your line, bring it around the top. So now you just got this back hook here. The top one really hung up with the line. Throw that baby out there, it'll go top water this way, and the bass come on hit from behind. And so that's how you can make your rattle trap go top water. But you got to take the line, come up,
and bring that hook up to the top.
At the top. If you take your line and bring it up from the back, it'll make your rattle trap do this on the surface. So you got 3 ways to fish a rattle trap.
Notes taken. I'm taking more notes.
You know, honestly, I think people would probably just search around for some bait that did that instead of being creative, you know, like you've been. And that's what I find most amazing about you is you're bringing back the roots of fishing. And I'm a little scared, honestly, because I want all this stuff for my tournament season next year. And I guarantee you there are pros watching this show right now because we have had pros watch our show.
Right.
And they're taking notes.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
They want to target the bigger bass.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them, you know. Everybody wants to get a bigger bass. And you can do it if you get out there early enough, you know, and you got the right lure. Yeah, if she's still moving around before she returns to the den, maybe an overcast day is beautiful. If the tournament's held in March, and it's a real windy day, 30-mile-per-hour gusts. Oh, Lord, I just love that. You can take, you know, you can take one of these babies right here with a deep runner, painted purple, and wear bass out all day long in that wind. That don't bother the bass. I just love that little wobble going down and wham. And it's beautiful because it's windy. If the wind wasn't blowing, forget it. That happened. And the reason why, because when that wind starts blowing choppy and you got big wakes, it's stirring up the bait fish. And those big mamas are coming in after those little baby bait fish. You know, they want to eat those little helpless things. You know, they don't want to go out there and grab them a big meal. They want to chase that little that little baby brim about this big, and they come in close to the edge and all that wind, and you would never suspect it that she's there. So when I was at Lake Paradise, the game warden pulls up. In this particular case, the wind was blowing at 35-mile-per-hour gusts, and I yanked out 2 10-pound bass back to back because they're there, you know. And he just watched me like, yeah. I said, it's crazy. I'm excited, you know, and I want to fish every lake because it's on. It's on. You instinctively know it. You're like, it's on. Now, if I'm in a tournament, I got to hurry up. I got to stick a move because it's on. You can catch a bunch of them like that. How would you like to go up there to the place and show 3 10-pound bass, you know, for weigh-ins? You know?
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, people are going to look at you like, my God, you know. what are you, what are you using? Everybody always says the same thing. What are you using? What'd you catch them on? It's not that.
Tell them
learn.
I catch them on garlic butter.
Yeah.
You throw a little garlic butter on those hooks, I tell you.
The more time, my honest opinion, I know the pros will agree with this. The more time you spend on that water learning them bass, the better you're going to get.
Without a doubt.
That's a fact. Because if you're not on there with them, you're not learning anything. You're not learning anything sitting at home.
Right.
So, I fished so much. My father looked at me and he says, I'm worried about you, son. You fish so much. and it's crazy.
Well, before we get back to the story,
I want to give some more away.
You want to give some away?
Absolutely.
Let's give some away. We got a ton of stuff to give away, Aldo, and then we're going to get back to the story because we're about at the point where we can start to talk to when you started tournament fishing, and I think that's where we'd like to get back to the story. But let's give something away, and we're going big. We're going big, right?
We are going big. We have.
Are we going to give some coffee chew away?
We're going to give.
What do you need? You got to go to the bathroom. Okay.
What you got there?
We have some Cowboy Coffee Chew sizzling steak seasoning from Far Out Foods. All right, it's a combination of two of the greatest sponsors on the show. It's Cowboy Coffee Chew infused seasoning for steaks.
Wow.
We are also
go ahead. Go take a leak, Aldo. We'll take care of the giveaway. Go take a leak, man. I took one. Hey, man, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Look at the little tailman. My father gave me this. I said, man, you got to be kidding, Dad. That thing, that 12-pound bass will rip that to back and back. That's a toy.
I love it.
Let's see a little bit.
All right, absolutely. So, Frank, we're going to do this. We're going to give away.
All right, what do you want to give away?
In honor of Aldo, and we just had a pink crankbait story. We're going to give away 3 of these right here. They're Marty Mac painted purple crankbaits. All right. So we just did I say pink? I said he just was talking about the purple crankbait. Purple crankbait. So we're gonna give away 3 of those for Marty Mac. And one person's gonna win some Cowboy Coffee Chew from Far Out Foods.
Cowboy Coffee Chew, Far Out Foods collaboration. That's a sizzling steak.
Sizzling steak seasoning. This stuff is amazing. Let me tell you,
I brought everybody. I brought the Otter, I brought Tater, I brought the Bubba, I brought the Erlauer Cottage. I got them all hooked up with Far Out Foods this week. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff this week. So look for some pictures on the Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. And also I am going to be waiting. And Otter and Tater don't have Twitters, but Otter's on here tonight. He's watching. And the whole family, Otter's in the garage, Uncle Bubba, OG Lizard is Uncle Bubba on Twitter. OG Lizard's in the garage. Auntie Susie, that's OG Lizardess. My Aunt Susie. And my sister, Anna Erlauer, James Erlauer's in there. My dad, Frank Polchinski. And by the way, I'll have him on to apologize for blocking all kinds of people and causing a stir one day.
I was blocked. I was like, wait a second. Who is this guy?
My dad blocked me too.
He blocked me. Like, all right, I guess I don't have much to say anyway.
Oh, God. That was hilarious.
So let's
so look forward to a lot of cool stuff coming out. They're going to be reviewing Far Out Foods because and these are my guys, right? These are my guys that are how come I'm seeing Aldo's feed? These are my guys that are out hunting all the time, and these are guys that are making their own sausages, making their own so they're all about reviewing the sort of stuff, especially the stuff that the Two Spice guys will be coming out with this fall. We're in a mad rush to get this stuff done. But we're looking to come up with a full processing line for everybody, so that you could make your bratwurst, you could make your lanyagers, make your pepperoni sticks, maybe maybe pre-spice and wrap or roast and then freeze it.
No doubt.
You know, things like that. We're going to be coming in a full line of processing spices. So right now they're tickled pink. I got a full line to Otter and Tater too. They're going to be doing some reviews. So look forward to some reviews by some. I mean, these dudes are intensive sportsmen. My
kind of people. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My kind of people.
You come up here, and I tell you, I pale 100 times in comparison to these dudes. They are legit, and I mean, I'm lost. I'm lost in a lot of stuff, but I try to be observant. You know what I mean? Because I really got to up my game, and they're up there. I mean, Otter will easily fish me more than 2-1. Pete will fish me 2-1.
Wow.
I mean, these are, people you don't know. That's why we made the LKM Cup, is because there's people out there that are phenomenal. And then this is where Aldo comes into play, is there's a lot of knowledge out there of just average everyday anglers that can honestly blow some of these people away, but you just don't see them.
Absolutely.
So it's always a pleasure to come back home and get to spend some time with my family. My dad, which is the origins of my fishing story in life, and my brother-in-law and my sister, they host quite a menagerie here at the cottage, and then I've got my aunt and my uncle, and they're all at the compound with Otter and his wife and Tater and his wife, and we just have a really good old time. I'd love to get you up here sometime, and we should really get something going on here, because there's a lot of stuff. Whether or not, I'd love to do an episode up here of hunting for monsters one day.
I think that's a fantastic idea. And while we're here, let's do the giveaway first, all right? And then I want to get into a couple things that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, because we're going to be down.
We have girls up here that are from the.
What's going on?
You got to see yourself here, homie. See it?
No, I know.
There you go. All right. That's my brother-in-law, James.
James Erlauer. We see him in the chat room all the time, and we finally get to see him in person now. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My doggy.
That's OG Lizard. That's OG Lizardess. That's my Aunt Sue. She's Uncle Bubba's wife. That's
the dog.
OG Lizard one, and that's Stanley. Oh, get out of here! Oh, get out of here! Get out of here!
So much love going on there.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
We're gonna see more of these people next week.
Excellent. So
I love my nephew too.
Oh my God! This is OG Lizard. This is Uncle Bubba.
I love it. So we're just gonna keep your screen on.
God! Right. All right, let's give some stuff away.
Yeah, let's give a couple things away, and then I want to get into what's going on in the next couple of weeks that we have going on. They're in Georgia, as a matter of fact, with the ISSA.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. But I have 3 numbers. Oh no, I'm going to do 4 numbers. All right, 4 numbers, and I'm going to get the blast going right now. And we want numbers for 4. We got 4 winners this time. We got 3 purple crankbaits, and we have the Cowboy Coffee Chew Far Out Foods Sizzling Steak Seasoning going out to 1 as well. So let's see. We have right now,
Hold on, did you put the blast up yet?
I put the blast up. We have 9, 2, 4.
Oh, let me call on, since you got the numbers. I got 9, starting with Southern Rhythm Promotions. 9, 2, 4, 14, 6, 8,
14.
10. 10. 14?
Yep, 14.
2 Spice Guys.
All right.
They can't win.
Yeah, they can win. They're not winning.
They can win their own spice.
They can win a purple crankbait, though. So keep going.
All right. Okay. Give me another number. 6, 8, 10, 10, 14, 12, 7, 17.
12.
12. 14, 5. What do you want? What do you want to just keep yelling them out?
Numbers. Here, I think we got them all. Let me just check.
Oh, okay. Listen to me.
Here.
From the top.
Here's the
9,
orders.
2.
12, 14, 17, 24. They're all in there somewhere. All right. So give me the first.
So 2 Spice Guys is 14.
Yep. Who's 12?
Is it 7?
12
7?
and 17.
12 and 17 was 2 Spice Guys.
17, 2 Spice Guys. They can't win twice.
Well,
give me the next.
12 was Mr. Stripes.
Mr. Stripes. No.
And what else was the last number?
Stripes.
What was the fourth number?
17 and 24. It's hard when we get more than
24.
one. Geez, we got to figure this out. We need a wheel. We got to spin something.
Dude, I got the wheel. Jenny won number 24.
Jenny Prickett?
Jenny Prickett.
All right.
Yep.
So we need the second number 17 because 2 Spice Guys can't win twice.
All right. Okay. So do you want to blast again?
Ed Seiler. No, we got Ed Seiler.
Oh, then the second 17?
Yep.
Is Ed Seiler?
Ed Seiler. All right. So we got our winners. We got 4 winners.
That'll make my clothes fall off.
Yeah, well,
You want to have a shot of tequila?
Yeah, hell yeah.
My brother-in-law, James, brought a shot of tequila. I'll do a shot of tequila.
This is when the show gets really good, folks, especially when people start getting pass-out drunk. Best time.
What, Aldo take a dump?
I don't know where he went. He came back, and then he's like, oh, God, all right. I'm leaving.
So did we give everything away?
What's that? We gave everything away this round. Yep. 2 more rounds to go.
Okay. All right. So
Quick.
let's dig in.
Yeah. Well, let's
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mom.
What's going on next month? All right.
Okay.
Because on August 2nd.
Make it quick.
August
We got to
3rd,
get back to Aldo
yes.
here.
Well, August 3rd, we're going to Georgia. We're going to Atlanta, Georgia for the ISSA award ceremony. We're going to be hosting the red carpet. We're bringing our camera crew from LKM Productions down there with us, and we're also giving away an award. Now, on the 2nd, there's a before party. On the 3rd, right after the award ceremony, there's the after party. We want everybody to know that before the 3rd, you can purchase tickets for $58. Right now, you can purchase them for $58 to the award ceremony. After the 3rd, it goes up. So we just want you to know that there are tickets still available. And if you can make it, we'd love to see you there. We are giving away a whole bunch of different packages.
10.
10
Anyway, 10 VIP packages.
All right, 10 VIP packages. We're gonna
Talk people through those. Can you go ahead and talk people through those VIP packages?
Absolutely. VIP packages are going to be 2 tickets to the award ceremony, a ticket to the pre-ceremony to the pre-party, which is on the 2nd, the night of the 2nd, and a ticket to the after party on the 3rd, which is right after the ceremony. We're going to. It was the Atlanta NASCAR,
the NASCAR museum or NASCAR, whatever. Yeah. But let's not forget. Let's not forget that at the pre-party, I think, is Darius going to be at the pre-party?
Well, first of all, you got Electric Mud is going to be playing at the pre-party.
And that's 2 of the nephews of the Stones.
That's
and so we don't know if Mick's going to be there, but Keith and a couple of the other guys are going to be there. Mick just had heart surgery like 3 weeks ago or something like that.
I have no idea.
He just had heart surgery.
But there's a possibility that they're going to be there. They're going to be in the area, so we're hoping that they do.
So the pre-party is going to be awesome, folks.
Unbelievable.
But
unbelievable.
You come to the ISSAs, you're going to hop on the red carpet, and you're going to spend some time with these 2 guys. Right? On the red carpet, you get some time, interview with these guys. We go in, and you start to enjoy your VIP package. Not only do you get a table, not only do you get backstage passes to see the inner workings of the ISSA awards. Now, this is like the CMAs,
well hold on.
The Oscars.
It's not a table, it's a seat. Not only are you going to get a seat.
Seat. Sorry, I forgot.
If you want a table, the Lizard can bring a table with them, I guess.
No. I forgot. We did finally see the venue, the actual venue set up this week. I apologize. You do get a seat. But you are gonna get to meet some famous artists and get to take photos with them, get autographs from them. You are gonna get a VIP package from LKM Productions also of some awesome stuff. And of course, some of the stuff from our sponsors, some stuff from your favorite musical artists. They're going to be handwritten, hand signed. Take some pictures with those people, and you are going to be treated like a VIP. Then after the darn thing, we go on over to the NASCAR museum, I think, right?
I
NASCAR
think it's
museum.
like a museum or the Hall of Fame or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And we're going to pay for that too out of my pocket and Monster's pocket.
Whatever. Your pocket's fine. We'll pay it out of your pocket.
No.
I'm happy
Actually,
with that.
Monster told me he's paying for that one. Nice. I like that. And you're going to go in there. I'll buy you a drink. I'd be happy to buy you a drink. How can I not buy you a drink if you're a VIP of ours?
Of course.
And you're going to get fed.
Yeah, there's
You're
going
going
to
to
be
get fed.
dinner there as well.
And there's going to be live music the whole night long.
It's gonna be unbelievable. So we'd love to have you there. Like I said, we're giving away 10 VIP packages. We would love to have more people there. I wish we could afford to keep buying more and more and more, but we can only really afford 10 VIP packages. But in that same respect, we'd love to have you there. The tickets are very, very affordable. They're $58 a piece until July 3rd. After July 3rd, they do go up. I want to say to 78 or 98 or something like that. But
now we are going to be giving out these VIP packages very soon. So how do those people enter? Now, remember, folks, you have to agree to fly or drive to Atlanta, and you have to agree to house yourself. But the rest of that time is going to be on us.
Right.
Okay. If you're willing to do that, where do they enter, Monster? And then we're going to be giving these away very soon. So you better be entered.
There was actually a tweet on social media. I actually posted it on Facebook as well. But the people that had signed up in that tweet saying that we can make it, or I can make it, or whoever can make it, they are all the ones that are going to be put in a bowl, and we're going to actually pick them next week. So it's
okay. So is there one last chance?
I will.
One last chance for people to enter so we can add more names to the bowl.
Absolutely. What I'll do is after this show, I'll go back on social media and I'll repost it so it's at the top of my timeline so that people can go ahead and they can go ahead and re-enter. All right. Awesome. That way we make it a little bit easier for everybody to find. But if you're not on social media, you can actually email me at monsterhunter@huntingformonsters.com. Give me, give me your name. And we'll go ahead and we'll put you in the bowl for next week's giveaway. And
we're going to be giving those 10 away all at once. And let me tell you, you're not going to want to miss this because we know stuff that you don't know, and it's already going to be the bomb, man.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. This is really
out of control. You want to be. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be so nuts. My wife has already said, I think I might want to come along.
Really? My wife is going. I know. That's it. That's it. So absolutely, we will get text as we're going. But yep, we're gonna be there. We hope that you're gonna be there as well. You can head up ISSA their website. I wish I had it in front of me. I don't, but it's the ISSA.
If anybody's got the ISSA website. Yeah. Please throw it up in the chat room. What else we got going on? Did we finish up the voting?
The voting is done in Carolyn Rett. She won. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, yep. She is number one for the ISSA countdown artist of the month. So she won thanks to your efforts. We can't thank you enough for that.
Huge thanks to everybody.
She's such a great talent. She really is, and such a great person. So she's going to be at the ISSAs. She is going to be at the ISSAs. So we're going to get to meet her. We're going to interview her on the red carpet. I'm excited. Great stuff coming out. On top of that,
what else do you got going on?
Well, we're gonna be filming some LKM Cup episodes coming up in
perhaps.
Yep, we'll keep it out there. The actual tour with the LKM Cup is going to start in 2020.
2020.
It's just
so here. Let me lay it out for you, folks. This is what's going to happen: is in a couple months, and we're going to be after we got to kind of get through this ISSA thing because this is huge. I mean, we got to get out there. we got to hire some midgets. We got the whole thing going on. So
Exactly.
we got to get through this. And after that, we're going to start the LKM Cup promotions. And we're going to be having a LKM draft. Okay. Yes. This is going to occur later on this year. It's going to be called the LKM draft. It's going to be a live show, and we're going to be picking the zone that the LKM Cup is going to be fished in for 2020. And we are going to be people who are inside of those. So it's going to include the entry for the LKM Cup. And then when we pick the zone, everybody's going to be sectioned out zones. When we pick the zone, we're going to go to that zone. And if you have signed up for the LKM Cup, we're going to start picking the contestants for the zones. It's called the LKM draft, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss it. The LKM draft.
Beautiful cup.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, we're proud of that. That is the People's Cup. That is for everybody out there. Anybody that wants to fish for something amazing, they have the opportunity now. So,
we're going to have awesome people associated with this cup. I mean, you're likely to see famous people like Aldo Rosado, George Dukas, Jason Aldean, other famous country artists and famous fishermen that are going to be part of our pro and our famous side of the LKM Cup, which is going to be all for charity. And so side by side, seamlessly, we're going to be making money for charity, and we're going to be letting ordinary people fish for the most coveted fishing trophy in the United States of America, the LKM
Yeah,
Cup.
we're excited about that. Very excited. On top of that, we got apps coming out and everything. I mean, it's pretty neat. Well, I just talked to him today, as a matter of fact, and yeah, the app is coming along great. LKM Cup is actually going to be on the app, which you're going to be able to, interact with the people as they're fishing, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's a couple months away, but.
Dude, ladies and gentlemen, we have been hooked up with a premier fishing app developer, and this guy, for whatever reason, this guy thought we were the people to come to make the app for everybody, that all those complaints that people have about the other apps, this one is going to blow them away. And I'm telling you, based on what we talked about and how things are developing,
this really is.
This is going to be the app to end all apps. And you guys are going to want this. You guys are going to want this app. They're even talking about making it free
to the user, which is amazing. You know, free to the user. So I mean, that's a huge benefit if you ask me. How about that,
folks? We are working on the all-time fishing app that's going to have all kinds of interaction, and it's going to be super user friendly, and it's going to be free to the user, and it's coming through these channels right here. I mean, it's going to be insane.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what else is out there, this is going to be the Tesla of fishing apps.
Yep, it's going to be iPhone friendly, Android friendly. It's going to be
the best.
It really is. We're going to make it the best. We're going to make it the best.
Aldo already knows that we only do stuff that is rock solid.
Yep. So it's
I guarantee it'll be the best.
Absolutely. We got a little bit of knowledge coming into the app, so that's fantastic.
Let's talk. Do you have anything else, or let's get back on Aldo?
Let's get back on Aldo. Absolutely.
And then we gotta do maybe another giveaway. And ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching right now, this is not the last time you're gonna see of Aldo. So, there's still a lot. There's a lifetime of information and wealth of knowledge inside of this guy, and there's a ton of stuff to get out, and he's going to be coming out in all different kinds of ways, and look forward to seeing him. Maybe Aldo might even be on the application. Maybe we could get some Aldo tips.
You never know.
Definitely. I spent enough time with him, no doubt.
Yep.
Let's talk about the don't have a lot of time left, so let's talk about your tournament trail briefly.
The local tournaments.
Yep.
You know, bass tournaments being held at Lake Paradise, the Okmulgee Bass Tournament. I smoked those guys because there was no competition. You know, they're not pros. I was ready to go against somebody to give me a challenge. Pros, primarily, especially what I had been through. So I don't really count them as really great wins because I wasn't really fishing against anybody great. Like the time I tweeted KBD, you know, I told him about my accident, and I said I would have loved to have went up against him, and then you can talk. You know, go up against a guy like KBD. If you beat him, you know, you got some mustard.
Yeah,
I respect the man. He's good. He's good. But and I know why he's good. He doesn't have to tell me. I said I already know why he's good, and I can make him better. You know, but he doesn't need to be because he catches enough fish as it is. We, like I said, don't get the lunkers involved with catching fish to win. You know, being pro bass anglers get paid to fish, and all we want is fish. You know. But to get them to hit, you know, that's where I came in. I wasn't satisfied with, like I said, with 4, 5, 6 pound bass. I said, no, we got to do better than that. And so the years I spent on the water learning these fish until I was able to develop a style and technique that was working so good for me, I was completely sold on it. You couldn't get me to use another lure. Some people call me the rattle trap king because that's all I used. You know, all my local tournaments, I won on a rattle trap. And I kept thinking, if it's that simple, how come the pros ain't doing it in the pro tournaments? They got all these different types of lures. And I'm like, if I'm doing it this way, why are they having a hard time? But it's the way I fish it. It's the way I fish that rattle trap. To give you an example, I got a friend of mine, and I consider him a good pro bass angler too. You know, we stood side by side with the same darn rattle trap, and I smoked him. And he got frustrated, and he said, "What am I doing wrong?" And I waited for him to tell me that. And I said, "I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong. You ain't making your trap dance." I said, "Look at the way I bring my trap in." And that's how I teach folks. I'm like, you got to present it. I said, "You're not presenting your trap." We fished with the same identical rattle trap, and I was yanking out bass right next to him. And that doesn't make anglers feel too good. I tease them a little bit. You're wearing the wrong hat.
I'll tell you right now, I want to spend some time with you, my friend, because I'm woefully behind after 54 years of fishing, and I need some time with you, my friend. I need some time with you, my friend. You may be a piece of the puzzle I need. I'm a pretty patient fisherman. I'm a very cerebral fisherman too.
Right. You say you mentioned it
I
earlier.
still
Your kinesis.
I still can't compete with my Uncle Bub. I still can't compete with Tater or Otter. It's a place where I need to be. It's a place where I need to be for my tournament fishing.
Yeah, and since we got the LKM Cup, I just want to say you can't compete with me either. So yeah, you definitely could use some help. Just putting it out there, let's just say
God, Aldo, him and I have never been on fresh water together ever. And the funny thing is, I live on the West Coast, right? So I'm a Midwestern boy who has fished freshwater for 54 years. And I'm a saltwater guy because I lived in Hawaii also. And I currently live on the West Coast. So saltwater, I fish plenty of saltwater too. And I smoke him on the saltwater all the time too. But I've yet to get him on the freshwater, and
You don't
I
want
tell
to.
You,
You don't want to
good
get me on the
luck.
freshwater. You don't, because then the whole
That's just my
LKM
family walking.
coast to coast it'll implode because we'll be on the freshwater and there's just no hiding
That's
it.
my brother-in-law. Good luck with that. Yeah,
Well,
I'm not in catching pickerels.
Oh boy,
my son drew out a rattle trap for me, and
I saw
he,
that.
yeah, he put it on a 3D printer, and here it is right here.
Oh,
And I haven't put it together yet.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
Let me just pull it out here. There's 2 sections to it. How's that?
yeah, we can see the 2
Yeah.
seconds. It looks like
Is that okay?
yep.
And it just
I gotta say goodbye to Otter. Otter's going home. Come on, camera, Otter. This is my buddy Otter. Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
You gotta drop down a little bit. There you go. That's Otter. Hey, everybody. Otter will smoke anybody in the water.
I love it.
Killing me. Have a good night. Night, Otter. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, so show us that rattle trap again. I didn't get to see it.
My son drew it up. I'm proud of him. And they casted it already, and there it is right there. But then they use the black color, but I'm going to put purple on it and let the black come out a little bit. And then it's got this other 2 pieces here, which he designed himself. These 2 go together like this, and it looks like a propeller.
Yeah.
And that's going to spin behind him.
All right. So like a rattle trap, reverse spy bait.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need any help with 3D printing, we have some connections that we can help you get that produced. I don't know what he's got going on, but I just wanted to put that out to you, And
I'm proud of him. And I told him, I said, well, he wants to try to help. And I said, well, let's see what it does. I'm curious. Don't knock it till you try it.
Absolutely.
I got spoiled on crankbaits, and what I developed myself is astronomical. It is literally astronomical because you couldn't get me to use any other lure. I was sold on what I used, and every time I went out, I could walk up to the lake, I could look at it, I could feel it. I said, it's not going to be a good day today. You're going to have to pull out old Pinky. Or I could look at it and say, oh, you're going to have to pull out Goldie Hawn today. And we'll talk more about Goldie Hawn down the road, how that lure.
Goldie Hawn?
Goldie Hawn is the bill.
I want to know about Goldie Hawn.
It's the bill.
Hey, Aldo, I've wanted to know about Goldie Hawn for some years now. Kurt Russell was a lucky man some years back.
Well, I had to nickname all my lures to keep me motivated and persistent on the water, because when you're out there every day, it's hard. It's so hard that you can lose track like that and put your pole down and say, man, I've had it. I'm going home. And because my future at that time depended on it, I couldn't walk away from it. Like, you better learn it, So it was it was different, but it worked out for me because in my tournaments, that's what I did was the rattle trap, and it paid off.
I want to put this out in the open for everybody, okay? And you've agreed, and we're gonna get more about the Aldo story here coming up in the future, but people have called you out, and you're the greatest fisherman to ever grace the waters. Well, how come you aren't out there on the MLF? How come you aren't out there on the FLW? How come you aren't in BASS right now? How come you're not competing with KVD? I want to hear from the doubters. I want to know why you hadn't had that opportunity.
Well,
talk to me, Goose.
Okay, this is how it happened. My father went and bought the Triton bass boat with a 225 on the back, $25,000. We're going to go to the Lake Blackshear tournament. As soon as I win that, because I knew I was going to win it anyway, there's no doubt about it, I'm going on the pro tour. And that's the agreement him and I made. And so 2 weeks before that tournament, I went to Foster's Lake, playing around just to stay fishing and stay fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always stay fresh up until the day of the tournament. I don't take breaks, stay fresh. And I hooked into this 8-pound bass. And what I did when I hooked into this bass, I made a big mistake, and I was goofing around because I don't set hooks. I've never set hooks with bass because I'm a crankbait fisherman. Bass set themselves. You don't have to set it. The bass, once they hit it, they're hooked. So when I had it, I got to thinking about the other pros, the way they snatch up, setting the hooks, and so I decided to play around. And I wish I hadn't have done that, but I said, "Yeah, let's just snatch up on that bad boy." And when I did, not realizing when my arm pulled right here on the shoulder, it just ripped. I was in excruciating pain, and my arm went limp. So I grabbed the pole with my left hand. I still had this bass on there, and I'm just crying. I'm like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And so I did land the bass. It was a big 8-pound bass, And so I go to the emergency room, and they said that it was a torn rotator cuff. And so I told my father, I said, "I'm not going to make that tournament." And he was very upset. And he's like, "What happened?" And I never told him. In fact, God rest his soul, I never told him what I did. I was horsing around. I should not have been doing that. But I was happy. I was feeling good. I got giddy, and I made a mistake. And it cost me a lot. It cost me a lot of years of learning, and I wasn't going to get that shot on the pro tour. And why it happened to me, I don't know, but it did. And it was pretty bad. In fact, it still hurts right there. It still hurts right there. If I start catching some big bass. But my father still kept saying, "But why you? Why?" And I said, "Well, look how many lunkers I was pulling out. Dad, I got 100 lunkers in Georgia, 10 pounds on up to 14 pounds, 200 8-9-pound bass. I was nailing these jokers, and it's just wearing me out. Over the years, it's just wearing me out. And with the arthritis and the degenerative disease, the doctor said, "You were a ticking time bomb. It was just a matter of time. Boom." So at my age with this problem, that when it started hurting me, I didn't even realize what was going on. I knew it was sore. It was a dime too short, maybe 3 years earlier. And so I didn't make the pro tour.
I don't necessarily, I think you're a legend. I think you're a legend. Okay. And I think both Monster and I, we have talked at great depth. I mean, we're hours and hours about this situation, and we want to give you an opportunity to be the legend you are. And I hope we offer you some opportunities to be the legend you are, and to take advantage of the fact that you have top tour information available for everybody. And I just want to let you know that, based on the time that we have talked together and the information that I know, that you haven't even let out to other people, that you are legit.
Yes.
And and that you don't have to hoist a shiny thing to necessarily be one of the best bass fishermen in the world. There's been plenty of them, right?
That's true. I was devastated. I was hurt. All those all those years. It's really sad what happened to me. Even Kevin Van Dam, expressed his sympathy, and I love that man. I respect him a lot. He told me keep fishing. It's I had back surgery. I had to stop, get my back surgery, and I was back in it again. I was up against a brick wall. But, signing autographs as an amateur, I got people, I go to a gas station, I got people coming up to me wanting my autograph because they see me in the paper holding 12-pound bass all the time. They said, that's the man. Stanley Mitchell, a Bassmaster Classic winner, is from Fitzgerald also. So I felt really good. I'm like, you're doing something. You're in the paper all the time, and I was in the magazines. But this right here is like unreal. I can't believe it happened to me. But it was so serious that when I got to Augusta, VA, and they did the MRI, when he gave me the bad news, I said, well, can you do the surgery? Can I get back in? And he said, you might want to consider taking another career.
Well,
it's pretty bad.
Listen to me. It may seem like your tour has ended, but we're going to extend that tour, my friend, because we don't want Aldo Rosado to go unnoticed. And I still think you have a chance to make that legendary status that you deserve. Yeah. It may not be the standard way of going about it, but we can't stand by and let the fishing community in the world not have a chance to experience Aldo Rosado, and now's the time.
Right.
Now's the time. And I really appreciate you latching on to us and really giving us that opportunity to get this information out and to sow your legacy. There's a legacy there. I don't care if it had trophies attached to it or not. There's a legacy there.
Everybody that I have trained personally, they all got trophies on the wall. Every one of them. And it makes me cry, but it's out there. There's I want everybody to use my techniques, and we'll discuss it more. I mean, we only went through not even 10% of what I know. I know. It'll come out, but it's emotional because I put so many years in it. It's incredible. And I love my father to death because he put right at almost $200,000 into me. Imagine how he felt when this happened. It's like, God, all this money invested in you, and boom. It's really sad. It's a sad story, but I'm happy.
I don't know if it's a sad story. No. I don't know if it's a sad story. Life is full of these ups and downs, right? And I try to tell my kids this. I try to tell, I try to tell Lizard Queen this. I said, and I get the stuff from my dad. My dad is my compass. He's always been my compass. He was in Vietnam also during Vietnam era. He's military intelligence, and ever since I could understand the concept of Eastern religion. He embodied Eastern religion very well, and you have to suffer. Life is this. You have to enjoy the entire ride.
Right.
If you want to constantly be unhappy at every, those great peaks, those great moments are only eclipsed. They're only monumental based on how you have endured that slope that kind of goes down, and you constantly down and up, down and up. And I don't think it's a sad story. I think it's an inspirational story, one that's never been heard. And Monster and I really want to bring this story to people.
Yeah.
Well, because I'll tell you right now, this story is not over. It's not over by a long shot.
Not even remotely close to over.
And then if I intervene here for a minute, 6 months after this accident, and like I said, it's emotional, so I'm going to control myself. The VA, after 10 years, awarded me 100%.
100%.
And I was like, my God, over 6 figures. And I was like, you know what? You still got paid. Even you didn't get what you wanted, but you're still set for life. So that's how I looked at it. I'm like, you take care of your family. You're going to be all right. I bought my house. But I still wanted to go on that pro tour, but sometimes we can't have everything that we want. And so these dormant years, I said, go on Google, start telling everybody what you learned. Don't take it to the grave with you. They'll take what you learn and they'll move on with that. And so that's why
maybe there is something you would have lost on that tour. Maybe there is something that you are destined for the industry of fishing that you would have lost if you had spent all those years. I mean, you'd still be out there fishing. Maybe there's something that is going to happen in your future, in the near future, that you would have never done had you been stuck on the tour.
You know,
It could be world changing. You're a world changing guy, Aldo.
Yeah. I mean, with music too, it's when I talk to my attorney, John Denny, he's like, you done wrote a book, you done got a published poem, you've had 3 hit songs, you had a record deal in UK, you're a pro bass angler. He's like, my God, if you don't get hurt and you make it into this pro tour, it's going to be huge, but it didn't happen. So you can't take all of that and put it in one thing. It's just something that it kind of just drifts away pretty much.
No, it's you know what, I found this, the older I get in life, it's honestly, there's these different stages in life, and the older you get in life, you gotta, you become an elder statesman, and I get more pleasure out of someone else's success, someone else's advancement, based on not me necessarily being I'm not the person that creates their future, or I'm the one who makes them realize their future.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So I seek in them the thing that I think would make them realize the thing that would make them successful. I'm not the one that makes them successful.
Right.
I'm the one that helps create the catalyst inside of them. And that becomes more exciting the older you get. You become that elder statesman type. And we can really use you in some of our charity work too.
Yes.
And I really wish you could do some to help us with some of our charity work. So
my music career was we won't get into that tonight, but
not tonight.
I met Tommy Lee before he got with Motley Crue. We got stories now.
Oh, and that is definitely going to take us to the end of this episode.
It's incredible.
We're going to have you on as a guest again, Aldo. We have to. There's just too much there for just one show. But I tell you, I can't thank you enough for being a guest tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
No, absolutely. It was our pleasure for sure. We are going to give away one more thing tonight. What do you want to do for the grand prize, Lizard?
Well, we haven't given away any Cowboy Coffee Chew or Next Gen or Bio Baits or
all right, let's do
Jack's Lures. And we got we gave away some Martis already tonight too.
Yeah, we gave some Martis pink and purple crankbaits. Let's do this. Let's give away some Jack's Lures. All right.
Okay.
We got a Jack's Custom. Ooh, let me take it out of the bag so everybody can see it. Oh, I got yours. There we go. I'll take it out of the bag so everybody can see it. We have a Jack's Lures Custom paint job there. I'm not
crank.
Sure.
Nice.
It's a nice crank. It's actually got the rattle.
Looks good.
Yep, it's a rattle. All right, and that's from Jack's Lures, folks. You can find these at Jack's.
Yeah, phone number. Also jackslures.net. And also, of course, he's on Twitter and Facebook and all. Jack's Lures.
Great craftsman for sure. We have some coffee.
John's been bugging me since I've been back. He's like, "Where are you at? You're back in Wisconsin. Where are you? Are you coming down to La Crosse? Where are you? Coming down to Sparta? You coming to see me?"
And that's not exactly.
I got the golf course. John. Oh, sorry. Cowboy Coffee Chew has his own golf course.
Yes.
And the guy is religious of taking care of this golf course. He's been bugging me all week long. Are you coming down? I'm like, dude, I'm in Nesh Coral, man. You're like an hour and 45 minutes away, man. I'm on the water right now. So I've caught my limit every day, by the way.
You have? Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah, it hasn't been terribly impressive, but I've caught my limit every day.
I've seen some pictures. You're catching some pretty impressive smallmouth there for sure.
I've been Otter and Tater and my uncle have been taking me out, and I've been out on my sister and my brother-in-law's lake here at this Silver Springs Lake. And I'll tell you, the fish have been wonderful so far. Just absolutely wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to pick one winner, and what we're going to do, we're going to actually add a pink and purple Aldo Rosado fired crankbait. All right, so you're going to get
Lunkers love purple.
Absolutely. All right, so we got pink and purple crankbaits. We have a Jack's Lures custom paint job right there. It's a got the rattle trap in it. It's beautiful. We have 2 cans of Cowboy Coffee Chew. All right. Actually, you know what? And I'm going to throw in a Groovy Greek Borrowed Foods.
Throw in some Groovy Greek, bro.
Borrowed Foods. This is the grand prize.
We can't thank Far Out Foods, the 2 Spice guys. We just got done fishing with them on the Hunting for Monsters episode. Oh, dude, you know what happened is we never told anybody who won the competition between Team Lizard and Team Monster.
Yeah, they're gonna have to watch the episode.
No. We'll tell them tonight.
All right, yeah, we'll tell them at the end of the show.
We'll tell them tonight at the end.
All right.
Gotta duck down.
Yeah.
If you know.
All right, so I'm gonna do a blast right now. In
That's
one,
my brother-in-law.
Hey, all right.
Thanks for the show tonight, guys. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Oh, I just almost flashed the audience what the number is. All right. So there's the blast,
Right.
folks.
The blast is coming up. There's the blast.
And last but not least, never leave a rock unturned.
Never leave a rock unturned. 19, 17, 22, 16, 3.
We got a winner.
Who won? 19. Steve Gammon, come on.
He's on fire. He's on fire. There's nothing we can do.
Dude,
Awesome.
remember when John Klopp? He's the new John Klopp.
That's right. John was taking every
Dude, how come that happens though?
I don't know.
We'll have 35 people in the chat room, and it's like
You know what it is? I think it's he gets in your head and he just knows the way we think.
All right. Well, we gotta say I'm gonna say my goodbyes to Aldo, and then we're gonna tell people who won the Hunting for Monsters episode.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. So Aldo Rosado, I can't thank you enough. And I am from the bottom of the heart kind of guy. You inspire me, and your story is not over. And I'm blessed. I'm really blessed that our sort of, us sort of getting together worked out the way it did, because it truly is inspirational to me. Thank you for coming on our show. I look forward to giving away more awesome stuff.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I really thank you, and look forward to more awesome stuff coming out on, maybe this platform and other platforms about your story, because it's just incredible.
Right. We couldn't cover it all in one night. There's too much to tell. We'll get more in depth next time. How I got, what you said, kinesis, how I began to get tight with a bass. That's on the next round.
That's the next show. Sure. So, folks, again, Aldo, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. We really do appreciate you.
Thank you. I love y'all, and I want everybody out there to catch big bass, and I'm going to help you as much as I can.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was an unbelievable show. We had a whole bunch of stuff being talked about, and just a vat of experience with Aldo, and we will have him back as a guest. Next week, we have blue collar fishing and a whole bunch of people from Wisconsin. So
my family's going to be on here.
Lizard King. I love that name, Lizard King.
So
I
tune in.
I got a lizard right here.
That's Larry the Lizard.